for all of us, and we continue to pollute it and don't take care of our forest, those who can afford will go and leave us to perish. Because, as the saying goes, the last man will die when the last tree dies, because you can't get oxygen. And that is when you know that all the money you have in the world can't support your life, because there's no tree to give you oxygen that you yourself cannot produce. So today we are excited to have our own dean in our midst, and I hope by the end of the day I would have enjoyed it and also learned some important lessons. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, on to the next thing is the chairman's opening remarks. Now let's welcome Professor Bechi Esiedu.
So good afternoon to everyone. I'm happy to be here. I can see the NASA president is around. Where's Esther? Because I want to use Esther as a case study. The Wukong for Forza. Yeah, maybe she will come. Because basically, when I assumed the deanship, there was a case. I think she contested for NASA Wukong. And there was election, let me call it election dispute. So I have to resolve the issue. And yes, I was using facts. And then I said, okay, her case has been dismissed because they wanted a rerun. And yesterday or 2 days ago, she came to my office with a gentleman. And she said, I said, your face looks familiar. But she didn't say anything. Okay. But later, when I went home, I was recollecting that it's like I know this girl somewhere. But I can't really figure out. Just this morning, I said, oh, she was the one. Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say that her passion, drive, she wanted to serve. Do you get it? She wanted to serve. She didn't get the nod from NASA, but she has been able to find her way as far as this association is concerned. And that is good for students, okay? We don't want to be here and then the talk. Then after that, we go and then relax, okay? We should keep pushing. But I've been called, the Vice Chancellor asked me to also represent him as well, okay? So it's going to be a speech, but the bottom line is, let's take action, okay? After here, we're going to plant trees. The association, don't say, okay, we are the executives, action. For me, if I don't see you, we will collapse the association. So the head of department for forest science of the School of Natural Resources, the area manager, TIDD, Sunyane, Mr. Aban Kofi Bonsu, HODs present, colleagues, faculty members, staff, and students of UNE, our cherished invited guests, my big boss is in, the Dean of Students, you are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is an honor and privilege to be standing here today as we celebrate International Forest Day and witness the launch of the Forest Students Association. Forza. Do you call it Forza? Okay, yeah. This day marks not just an event on our calendar, but an important acknowledgement of the vital role of forests in sustaining our lives. And I think my sister have said everything. I think all of us, if we cast our minds on the SDGs, okay, barely we are left about 6 more years to achieve all the 17 goals, and it's to make life for us. The vision of the School of Natural Resources is to become a world-class school for generating, advancing, and applying knowledge in natural resources and its related social science services. Forests are not just mere cluster of trees. They are the lungs of our earth, providing us with clean air, biodiversity, and important resources with countless species. Just as we say, and I think we have been saying, when the last tree dies, the last man dies. Today, as we celebrate this important day, which is under the theme Forests and Innovation, New Solutions for a Better World, we affirm our commitment to preserving this essential ecosystem. The launch of FORSA is a testimony to our passion and dedication of our future environment stewards. It's a platform collaboration, innovation, and advocacy in the field of forestry and environmental conservation. I commend the students for this initiative and urge you all to be good ambassadors for the betterment of our planet. As the dean of the school, I'm proud of our departments and our students who are actively engaged in research, education, and outreach activities aimed at promoting sustainable forest management practice. Kudos to the Department of Forest Science. As the HOD said, this initiative has been there for years. Now today we are seeing everything. Somebody say life and colored. UNE is committed to environmental sustainability, which is reflected in our curriculum, research, and other initiatives. Everywhere UNE is green, and sometimes people do complain that it seems we are losing the green environment. I was just with Mr. Ohimin, just coming here, and he was telling me that they have to cut down some trees because the bats are taking over. And he also with a committee with the Ghana Airports Authority. So I think they plan to do it next week. And we're discussing the stakeholders that they have to involve the police and then the local communities and so forth. At least at the end of the day, it's not for the aviation alone, but to make sure that we get opportunities to plant more trees. On this occasion, let us recognize the effort of organizations and individuals who have helped to protect and restore our forests. I remember my first time of getting to Mr. Aban's office was when a former student, one of our former students who completed natural resources, goose, I have to call it goose, I don't know, forestry, your term, was confiscated. And I was informed that, Prof, my goods have been confiscated. I say, oh, wow. No, we are natural resources, so I'm also a forester. So let me go there. And I got to his office, we interacted, and I realized that he's part of us. So they are doing great work. I think last year or so, it was in the news that it's not a ranger, one of the forest guide got lost. I think later they found him at Nkoko or so. So people are risking their lives, okay, to protect Mother Nature. Okay. So let us pledge to be responsible stewardship of our natural resources. Let us collaborate, innovate, advocate for better policies and practices. See, one of the things that I believe Students Association can do is to make sure that you be like lobbyists. For some of us, when you go and then you do your research, the politicians may hardly even give you a chance. But as students, once you are around and then you come out as one body or an association, you can always advocate for better policies and so forth. So for instance, the Green Ghana that is coming up, you can say maybe if you want to plant 10 million trees, you can say that let's add 5 million or so. And then you push for it. So it's a nice opportunity for the students to be committed. Now, I want to pledge the support of the School of Natural Resources, HOD, and then the executives. Whenever you need any support, when I was coming, I asked the school registrar to come so that we know how much we can give as seed money for the association. We'll definitely give you something. So anytime you need any support, okay, you come. Students, you want to go on trip, any whatever, my boss is there. I will approve it so that, he can give you the green light to go. So thank you very much. Enjoy the program. And let's, as I said, we shouldn't just be here and should be talk. And let's take action. Thank you.
Guys, we can do better with a round of applause. No, you can do it better. You can do it better. Thank you very much, Professor Bechi Asiedu, who is the Dean of School of Natural Resources. Now, I was just having a discussion with my beautiful co-MC, and we're talking about the fact that every time we hear UNE is home, but we have never said UNE is green. Have we thought about that? Nobody has ever said UNE is green. So we have been saying UNE is home, but we don't say UNE is green. So when I say UNE is, then you add the green for me. Can we do that? UNE is green. Come on, you guys are not here. Some of you are relaxing. You are waiting for item 13. Wait, it will come. But before it comes, UNE is green. UNE is green. A clap to yourself. You are doing amazing. Now, we are streaming this program live on all social media handles. And for all social media handles, you can go to UNE Official and watch it live. You can take the link and share to people the way Alpha Hour has been doing. Share the link, share the link, share the link. So please, go to all social media handles, UNE Official, and share the link. We are also live on YouTube. We have the name UNE TV on YouTube. You can take this link, share to your friends, families around the world to see the inauguration of the Forestry Students Association today, and also to celebrate the International Day of Forest. A young student, an amazing guy, has decided that on this special occasion, he's going to give us a poem in the person of Emmanuel Ofori. If you are here, can you mount the platform, Mr. Emmanuel Ofori, and give us a poem? A round of applause, please, as he takes the stage. Please, as he comes, you can do it better. Yes, your energy is down, but item 13 will come, please. Clap for him. We'll replace.
Good afternoon. I am not here as a human rights activist, but I am on a mission to bring to our realization that in as much as Black Lives Matter, Green Lives Matter too. Ed Sheeran will sing Think Out Loud, but today on their behalf, I will speak out loud, hoping that nobody will laugh out loud because it's not getting funny anymore. Our silence and negligence has become a weapon of destruction. And just like George Floyd, we watch them die for nothing. Abuse their availability, regardless their willingness to freely give us themselves for our use. And for our use. According to World Wildfire Fund, via our very own, and if little drops of water actually mix a mighty ocean, then that fact is super scary, not a super story to inspire the upcoming generations to be superheroes. God made man to have dominion, to be a wise ruler, not an autocratic destroyer. Green lives have been providers of everything that we have, purifiers of our air, shelter to creatures that are not considered as pets. Green lights are nature's pharmacy. Something more than gold, Judy K will say. But as we are seated here today, we just mess them all up. Money is good, but if you are ready to go to the extent of everything's expense for it, then that is not wise. Because a wise man once said, a time is coming where all rivers will dry up, where all trees will be cut down, and then man will realize that he will not be able to eat money. But what if that time comes and it is too late? And in the lyrics of Victoria Orenze, I say again, creation is waiting in anticipation for us to rise up and take position because there is no more room for procrastination. So let us come together and rebuild a better future. We say, Obrano ene yenara. So in as much as Black Lives Matter, green lives matter too. So for our rest, let us preserve our forests. Amen.
Hey, please clap. Why? My God, my God. You know, in such a very long time, right, I have never seen a very creative, talented, and skilled poet who has cornrows. It's been a long time I saw somebody like that. And you and I, because we are Ghanaians, would say that, but we have a fine gentleman, regardless of his demeanor and stature, giving us a very beautiful poem, crafting words. You know, you can see he's a stout Christian too, because he's adding Victoria Orenze and stuff to his. Please, a round of applause once again. Why? A round of applause. You can't do it. He has done it. A clap for him too is a problem. A round of applause. Amazing. Thank you very much. Don't get angry at me. We are all friends. So we'll take our main address from Mr. Abankofi Boso. But before we do that, HOD, okay. So before that happens, we'd like to take a special address by our special guest today in our midst, who is the acting Pro-Vice Chancellor for the University of Energy and Natural Resources, in the person of Professor John K.M. Kuwonu, as he takes the podium. Please, a round of applause to Professor John K.M. Kuwonu. Please, you can do it better as he takes the podium. You can do it better.
Good afternoon. So once again, I bring you greetings from the Vice Chancellor, the entire management and council of the universities of Energy and Natural Resources. Professor Simon Abugri, Dean of Students, Dr. the first name, Daniel Akoto, the HOD of Forest Science, Dr. Mrs. Oponi, a staff of the department, Dr. Bwachi Ajiman, Dean of School of Forest Science, Dean of School of Natural Resources, Professor Bechi Asiedu, our colleagues from the Forestry Commission, invited guests, the media, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks the International Day of Forests and the inauguration of the ceremony of a Forestry Student Association of, is it UNE? In UNE. The theme for this program today is so unique, and that's the theme is Forests and what? Innovation, new solutions for a better world. And as you can know, or you happen to know, the vision of this university is to be the world-class institution in the area of energy and natural resources and allied fields. And we believe that we have the capacity to provide that solution for the world in the area of energy and natural resources. We have several programs in this university that cut across forest science to climate change, energy, civil engineering, electrical engineering, and all others, including agriculture and environmental management. So we are well positioned as a university to provide that solution, not only to Ghana, but to across nations in Africa and globally. We are so unique because we have been blessed with renowned professors who are trained both locally and from abroad to be able to make this happen. We have all the requisite facilities and the training that we provide to our students, more especially the industrial attachment and the field work in the forest. We have the professors here, and we are doing that. I believe that today, the topic that is before us will even propel us to do more, because it's like we are now beginning the whole agenda of finding new solutions to the forest problems. And as we find solutions to forest problems, we are also finding solutions to environmental issues, including climate change, in the area of carbon dioxide emissions, and so on. And we believe that even as you have come to partner with us, we'll have more collaborators, even from today, to help us achieve this objective of finding solutions to environmental issues, both in Ghana and globally. Once again, I would like to thank you for being part of this important program. And on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, and Time Management, and the Council of the University of Energy and Natural Resources, we wish you all the best in your deliberations and celebrations. I know that you have a plan to plant some trees today. I don't know whether the tree planting has already taken place. It has already taken place. Can you give yourself a clap for this great job? I know that the mandate of the university is to conserve the environment in the area of natural resources. And it's one of the key pillars of the Ministry of Natural, what is it? Lands and Natural Resources. And it's more in line with the Sustainable Development Goals, that we need to look at how we conserve the environment. We look at some of the key goals of sustainable production and consumption, climate action, and so on and so forth. Partnership. These are things that are key in the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And we as a university, we are positioned to accomplish this objective. And at the point, we'll come to a stage where we'll do some monitoring and evaluation and assessment of how far we have gone from the goals and how much we have achieved. And we can come out with some technical publication in that respect. What UNES's role is and what we are doing, and how we are contributing immensely to the achievement of these goals. Once again, thank you for your participation in this important program. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Pro VC, for that wonderful address. So before we move on to the next thing, did you know that an estimated amount of 15 million trees are cut down every year? Now that amounts to about 41 million per day. Personally, on an individual level, what are you doing to help replace these trees? Now, Professor Esiedu told us earlier that himself and his team went to the senior high school in Fiapre to plant some trees. What are you doing as students of NATRU? So, before we continue, I want you to ponder on that while I welcome Mr. Aban Kofi Bonsu, Area Manager for Timber Industry for Development Division, to give us the main address.
Good afternoon. Forward. Okay. Good afternoon. The Pro VC, Dean of Students, the Dean, then my own friend and brother, Dr. Kuto, lecturers here, students, then my own staff. I think they came to support the manager. And all students, pressmen, good afternoon once again. Today is the World Forest Day. So someone will ask, why TIDD? Because TIDD, you are consuming the forest. You are consuming the forest trees. So why TIDD? But one important thing is that you see, we also depend on the forest. Because when the forest is not there, TIDD will also not be there. So it is very important that we also find innovative ways of making sure that the trees that are taken from the forest, they are highly protected, they are traded in a way that there will be continual, so that we will be able to continuously get trees for our industries and trade. When you talk about TIDD, let me also say this. You know, the Forestry Commission have trade divisions. We have the Forest Service Division. They are in charge of the forest. Then we have the Timber Industry Development Division. We are in charge of export and local use of timber plus trade. Then we have the wildlife that takes care of the animals that are in the forest. But Provis, allow me to say this. Most of my workers in TIDD, they come from UNE, and specifically from the forest sciences. And I don't know why this is so. I have a lot of ladies from this place, and like I said, a lot of workers. And I don't want to be gender biased, but it's like the ladies, they are selling well, or they are doing well, as compared to... Yes. And you see, from my background, whenever I see a crowd like this, I'm tempted to preach. But today, we are not going to preach. But one thing that I will say is that, you see, whilst you are on campus, the way you treat God on campus is the same way God is going to treat you outside campus. Whilst you go home, just be thinking of this. And I borrowed it from my pastor. Thank you very much. Now we are talking about forest and innovation. Forest and what? Innovation. And I've titled my presentation, Battling Illegal Trade. That is the role of technology. Battling illegal timber trade. The role of technology. I promise not to take much of your time. Thank you. So basically, this is the outline of my presentation. But, you know, TIDD, that's the Timber Industry Development Division, what we are doing now, with these partners, we have been able to secure sponsorship for our various innovative ways that we want to tackle our trade in timber business, or the timber trade. And these are our partners. We have the U.S. Forest Service Department, we have Agrites, UNIDO, then various stakeholders, then Center for Scientific and Industrial Research. So at the end of the day, somebody will ask, what is the problem at all? What is the problem? We all know, you know, most of you are students here, and you can even memorize all the, what do you call it, the deforestation, desertification, and so on and so forth. But I'm going straight to the point because most of the things, you already know them already. And you know, one thing is that, like I said from the onset, what is the problem? So we are talking about global illegal timber harvest, and it's accounting for as much as 30%. Then when you talk about monetary terms, we are talking about financial loss of almost $150 billion per year. That is the UN document that I took the search from. Then African countries are estimated to lose over $17 billion to illegal logging each year. And illegal logging and trafficking of high-value timber species like rosewood is also what happening. So we talk about strategies for addressing the illicit timber trade business, because like I said from the onset, TIDD, we are basically about trade and industry. And you see, like I said from the onset, if you are able to protect the trade very, very well, then it means we will still be in business. I was tempted to say hallelujah. If it comes, don't worry. Strategy for addressing the problem. So for now, Ghana, we have a lot of laws, which you know, we have policies. conventions, regulations, and so on and so forth. But in the center of this is enforcement. And most of the time, I always say, whenever I have the opportunity to speak to people, what I always say, that our problem is not about laws, policies, conventions, and so on, but it's about enforcement. It's about enforcement. Enforcement. So, I'll start from here. So, this is basically this is how the whole presentation is going to be. You know, we all know the European Timber Trade Regulations. Out of it came the Voluntary Partnership Agreement. Then, from the Voluntary Partnership Agreement came the Legality Assurance System. You see, when you talk about the Legality Assurance System, it's about you. When you have that kind of bilateral arrangement with the European Union, you are going to define what is legal timber. What is legal timber? What you term legal, so that they will help you to what? Achieve those what? Aims. Then came the GWTS. So what CIDD we did, because we are talking about innovations. And when you talk about innovations in the forestry sector, TIDD is at the forefront. For that one, Mr. Jedu is even aware. So TIDD, we say for VPA and the GWTS, we also went a step further with the ISO 17020. So when you talk about the ISO 17020, it's simply put, you see, you have an accreditation that satisfies you that indeed, when whatever document that you issue, it is coming from what? A legal source or standardized what? Sources. So from there, when we were doing the ISO, in conjunction with the GWTS, we saw a loophole, and that loophole was wood identification. Because, you know, in our part of the world, people can easily miss things. And, you know, we have a lot of issues. In Ghana, for instance, or let's say in Africa, it's like everyone knows somebody. You understand? So it means that if systems are not put in place, then most of the things, we will not be able to what? Tackle them. So then came the wood identification. So when we went for the wood identification training, we developed the xylotron. The pictures will come, don't worry. We developed the xylotron. And the xylotron, it was a machine that can tell you what wood, we were able to impute 102 timber species, that is commercial species. So if it's just a small cut, you put the machine in, it's able to tell you which tree it is or which timber species it is. Then from the xylotron, we saw that it was hosted at the office. So people going to the field, they found it very difficult to take the computer along. So we also went ahead to develop the Xyloris Pocket Wood. So the Xyloris Pocket Wood is an app on the, what do you call it? Play Store. You can just download. Then with just some simple tools here, you can at least have a second confirmation whether what you are buying, because sometimes you can even go to the, apart from export, you can go to the market, say you want to buy, let's say, Odum. The person can easily give you what help, or even if the person is very wicked, he can give you red cyber, Akata. Then for this, you can easily check and see whether, so it's like a semi-automated system that you can easily use to what? Identify which particular tree that will, or this particular timber species that you want to buy. Then from the Xyloris Pocket Wood, now we are at this place, full automation. So now we are working with aggregators. So that if a manager is aware, we came to the district and we went to the forest to collect samples. So in the next stage of TIDD, we are developing a fully automated system that will be able to identify the Ghanaian commercial timber species with just a click of what? Of a button. So somebody will ask, you know, at first, all that you were doing was paper-based system, issuing of license, certificate, property mass, and by, let's say, 5-6 years' time, those documents, even you might not even find them again. And whenever you want to do, auditing, the person can easily push them somewhere. So that's why, you know, we add the GWTS platform also came So for now, even work that we have done in about 3 years ago, with a click of a button, it just pops out. So somebody will ask, at the end of the day, we are talking about technology and innovation. Why wood identification? What is the essence? What is the essence? But here, I have some few points here. You see, when we are talking about timber trade, one thing you should know is that all the prices are not equal. So we have, for instance, Odum, per square meter is 810 euros, as compared to Otier, 290 euros per cubic meter. So you see the wide variation in what? In pricing. So it means that if people, people are just that if the structures are not working, they will find ways of what? Of beating the system. And if that happens, then it means that government is losing what? Money. We are not only losing money, but people will be also swapping what? Species. Then we also have CITES listings. We have trees that are nearing endangerment. We have those that are almost extinct. We have those that are endangered. You see, and people can easily swap these timber species. And by the time you realize that our seed trees and all the other things, they will be gone. And they will also not pay the amount that they are supposed to what? To pay. Like I'm comparing 810 to 290 euros. Then we have also this issue, transboundary timber trade. Then we have a check on the conduct of what? Clients. Structurally robust division. Because when I move on, I've explained this already. So this is how the wood identification system, that is our first part, this is how it looks like. So this is the xylotron. Then we also have a lab, one in TIDD head office, Takrade. Then we also have one in Forestry, at the wood anatomy section. So we have the xylotron and the stereo microscope. Sometimes when we are confused or the xylotron cannot do, we go to lab. And unfortunately, we were among the few people, the 3 people that were trained in the US for this project. So this is how the Xylorus pocket wood, this is how it is. You just cut a small portion of the wood with your camera. If you have an iPhone that has a sharp camera, you can take it and it can confirm it for you. Not other phones, those. the iPhone, Samsung, and the Google Pixels. But those that are using the technology, you have to get the app. So this is how, this is an FC staff checking to confirm whether the wood species that are on the certificate is rather what is on it. You understand? So this is how mostly the TIDD identification workflow, this is how it is. We have the TIDD field staff, that is the field xylorist. We have the manager. The manager also has the xylotron in the office for confirmation. Then we have the FC TIDD Wood Forensic Laboratory in Takrade, like I've talked about this. Then we have the Forestry Anatomy Lab. Now, when we started the project, the first phase, now we are the second phase. I will be ending very soon. We are the second phase. The second phase of the project, this is what we are doing. Now we've seen that, like I said from the onset, in this part of our world, it's like people, whenever they have the opportunity, they want to commit crime. They want to commit crime. So the project was, then how can we bring all the other stakeholders on board? The CSOs, the academic institutions. This time it's not going to be only TIDD, but add FSD to it, add the police and all others to it. So that it's like when we are moving out, it's going to be a major force. That one person cannot what? Swindle. For instance, whenever we do projects with FSD, we get much result than TIDD doing it alone or FSD doing it alone. And this time around, as we go on, you see. You see, so the phase 2 of this project is that now what we want to do, you see, I was talking about the semi-automated system. That is auxiliaries pocket food. So now what we are doing is that, you know, when we engage the forest, the customs and the immigration people, and we wanted to train them on the semi-automated one. In fact, they said they can't, because it was wood anatomy. I don't know. My US professor will say it's not sexy. I don't know whether it's difficult or not, but maybe because of our structures. But when we were there, we saw that it was very easy. You understand? So strengthening capacity and coordination to combat timber trafficking. No, we have to strengthen capacity, because the people says, this is your app. If we check the material and it is not what it is, if it is not a sun, we can't toggle through the system to bring what species it is. So if then there was this second need that, okay, then let's resource CIDD to do a fully automated system. Because before you can roll out any project, you have to resource the people that you are going to use. Then to invest in timber identification, and like I said, now we will be using this material, the lens, but this time around, it will be fully automated. Immediately you point it will just pop the wood out. Then to strengthen capacity among the law enforcement agencies. Then to build a capacity of CSO working to combat illegal trafficking. So this is the project goal. So my last two slides. So this is how it is. Now, the second phase of the project, we are talking about, remember, we are talking about innovations. Innovations. So the activity is invest in timber identification and legal resource specific to Ghana and broader West Africa. So now, when we are finished with the Ghana model, it means all the West African countries, we also have to build a same application there. So that you see, if you only solve the problem in your section and you don't solve at the other side, they will bring it. Because your people can steal to their place and they can also steal to your place. And at the end of the day, you see that all your efforts will be what? Worth nothing. So we have to build a reference database of commercial timber species. For that one, we have done it already. We have built a database for all the 102 timber, commercial timbers. We have a lot of, for TID, we are talking about commercial, because we are talking about money. Then develop wood identification technology systems. We have done that one. Develop that one to already done. Then the last part, this is where I think I have to read for it here. There. Yes, the last part. Build capacity of Ghanaian CSOs working to combat timber trafficking. So the only thing that is special here is that, so from now, what the international or our sponsors, the US government is saying is that, okay, TIDD, we have resourced you. You have trained all the other stakeholders. Now what we want to do that every year, 5 times, we will come, we will join you, we will join FSD, we will join the customs, we will join the other law enforcement agencies, then we will do monitoring. So when Mr. Jodu, for instance, so when we start, this is how it's going to be. Maybe in every 2 months, they will pick all of us. We will go to the various exit points. Then we'll be monitoring. But in the project, they are not going to give us a prior notice. Let's say you'll be there, you call, oh, meet us at Tamale. So, because for them, their main concern was that, you see, for them, any project that they give out money, and for the identification alone, they gave $250,000 for the identification. So they want to make sure that the structures are working. So now, every year, for 5 times, they are going to join us to do monitoring. And I think it's going to help, because what the Ghanaian man fears is the press. So, project challenges. You see, the issue is that there is a slow pace in enrolling the remaining trade models onto the GWTS. So, for instance, I'm talking about the GWTS and the wood identification. So now, like a model like the ocean, it has not been rolled onto it yet. And you know, One thing I love about technology is that for technology, it doesn't know any human interference. You can't beg. Once you put into the system, that is how it is. And this is what we are employing on the TVD to impute into the system quickly. Then they need to quickly automate the wood ID app, since most of the stakeholders are wood anatomy shy. So we are collecting the data, but we are praying that the application will be developed as quickly as possible, because that is the only challenge now. Most of our stakeholders, even if you teach them, they say they can't learn, because most of them are adults, and wood anatomy is mostly for the youth. Then the ability for the project to bring on board all the various stakeholders to have a common language. And the common language is what? Legal trade. Legal trade. So in conclusion, what I'll say is that all that we are saying, all TIDD is saying, all Agritech is saying, all UNIDO is saying, all the U.S. Forest Service is saying, is that there should be transparency in the timber trade. Period. Transparency. Then broader consultation with all stakeholders. They believe that if TIDD and FSD just go and sit at their corner and they want to protect our resources, it will not be possible. So we have to bring every other person on board. Then lastly, availability of timber species identification technologies and robust enforcement. Like I said from the onset, without enforcement, there is no way you'll be able to achieve all the conventions, the regulations, and so on and so forth. So, thank you.
Please, you can do it better. You can do it better. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Aban Kofi Bonsu, who is the area manager of the Timber Industrial Development Division, Sunyani. Whilst he was giving this presentation, I picked up some very few things. There was one slide that showed laws, policies, conventions, regulations with enforcement in the middle. Enforcement goes beyond business. It goes to affect every single sphere of our lives. As an individual, to be able to achieve anything, when you put in a measure, you have to make sure that you enforce it yourself. That is where the attitude of discipline comes in, because discipline is the tool for enforcement, and that is very, very beautiful. He also stated innovative things that TIDD Sunyani is doing. So for those of you who didn't actually pay attention, maybe you were dozing off in between, I'm just giving you a recap. He also mentioned verification innovations that they are doing with respect to some things. He mentioned about barcode and electronic tagging, which is a very beautiful way of making sure that our trees are very, very, are placed in good hands and they get them to where they are supposed to get to. He tells us about pricing and why there's a need. He tells you Odum is around 810 euros, and he tells you, okay, the other one is actually 290 euros per cubic meter. And you should know how, it tells you the value of that particular tree. He also tells us about the machines. So who can mention one machine that they use at the place, at TIDD for verification? Yes. Yes, one machine. Beautiful lady with natural hair, please. Gentleman, the lady sitting beside you, can you mention one machine he talked about? Xylophone, please, a round of applause unto her. It means she was listening. If she couldn't answer, I'd have seen she wasn't listening. Okay, so please, we move on to the next section of today's program, which is actually the main part, the inauguration of the Forestry Students Association. Now, before we do that, I still want to remind you that UNED Official is streaming live on all handles, and on YouTube, we are UNED TV. So if you can see the link, which is shared on all your natural resource platforms, please get them and share them to your friends. We want this to go global and worldwide for the necessary recognition it has to get. Now, before we move on into the inauguration of FORSA, we'd like to acknowledge the presence of every single invited guest here, and also the incoming executives who are going to be inaugurated very soon. I'm going to mention their names in that order, and would want them to come up front as we do that. The person taking the role of presidency for the Forestry Students Association is in the person of Mr. Jemfi Selassie Kese. If he's around, can he please move forward? Mr. Jemfi Selassie Kese. Please, you can do it better as he comes. Jemfi Selassie Kese. Jemfi Selassie Kese. Oh, Mr. Jemfi. Please, can we give him a round of applause as he comes? The person taking the role of vice president, please, can you stand here for us? Thank you. The person taking the role of vice president is in the person of Mr. George Appiah. Mr. George Appiah. Guys, this is beautiful. I want you to clap for them as they come. The person taking the position of general secretary is in the person of Mr. Kennedy Owusu. General secretary, Mr. Kennedy Owusu. Okay, Mr. Kennedy is not around. Would move on. The person taking the position of organizing secretary, we have Mrs. Priscilla Abna Korte. Priscilla. The person taking the role of deputy treasurer is in the person of Elizabeth Abali. In the position of deputy organizer, we have Eric Meisu. Eric, Mr. Eric. Mr. Eric. Okay. For deputy organizer, the second deputy organizer, we have, I think it's Ado Radel Sapon. Ado Radel Sapon. Rachel, sorry. Ado Rachel Sapon, please. If you are here, join us, please. Ado Rachel Sapon. Okay, for WUCOM, we have Esther Owusu-Ansah, Women's Commissioner. Women's Commissioner, we have Esther Owusu-Ansah. Okay, for Deputy WUCOM, we have Christiana Nkiwa. Deputy WUCOM, Christiana Nkiwa. Okay, for Treasurer, we have Na Okaile Presla. Na Okaile Presla. And for PRO, or the Public Relations Officer, we have Rashid Kamal. Okay, so for now, these are appointed executives for Forestry Students Association. Yeah. Elected and appointed. Elected and appointed. Please, a round of applause to our elected and appointed executives, right? So we are going to call the Dean of School of Natural Resources in the person of the Dean of School of Natural Resources in the person of Professor Bechi Asiedu to do the official inauguration. And when he's done, other invited guests will do us the honors of congratulating our elected and appointed executives. Professor Bechi Asiedu, please.
Wow. How are you feeling? Good, eh? Okay. So you are going to take the oath of office, okay? And then you just repeat after me. So if I say I, then you put your name there, okay? So I. Especially the president. The president, yes. So we'll do it together. I,
Jane Fislasi Kessing,
promise and swear
promise and swear
that
that
in fulfillment of my office
in fulfillment of my office
as
The NASA
President.
President.
Who follow the Constitution
Who will follow the Constitution
and other laws
and other laws
and act impartially
and act impartially
for the sake of the members
for the sake of the members
and UNED.
and UNED.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Professor Bechi Asiedu. Would invite Professor Simon Abugui and Dr. Daniel Akoto-Safo, Mrs. Opuni Frempong, Mr. Augustine Jedu, Professor Mrs. Dechi, Mr. Aban Kofi Bonsu, to do the official congratulations for the election and appointment of all these wonderful executives. Guys, you can do it better. A round of applause to them. This is a very important step and a very critical, necessary one at this point. And they volunteering to do this job is something worth commending. Wow, this is beautiful. So, with this said and done, when we say FOSA, you respond, our forest, our future, right? When we say FOSA, you respond, our forest, our future. FOSA.
Our forest, our future.
FOSA.
Our forest, our future.
The ladies on this side, it's like you don't want to respond because you go and cut trees illegally. FOSA.
Our forest, our future.
Very good. A round of applause to yourself. Wonderful executives, you can take your seat. Mr. President, I want you to sit right here for me. Thank you very much. I read a quote when we began, and I want to reiterate it again. It says that, take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step, because the beginning is the most important part. Mr. President, in the person of Jemfi Selassie Kese, you are about to begin a very important milestone, and it is very necessary you address us and address your executives. Without wasting much time, we would invite the president of FOSA to give us his address. Mr. Jemfi Selassie Kese. Other executives, please come join him here. All the other executives, please come and give your president moral support.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Chairman of this gathering, esteemed guests and fellow forestry enthusiasts. Today, we gather on this occasion of the Grand International Day of Forest and inauguration of the Forestry Students Association. The theme for this International Day of Forest is Forest and Innovation, New Solutions for a Better World, to celebrate the remarkable contributions of our forests to our planet and to inaugurate the Forestry Students Association. Forests are not just a collection of trees, they are liveness, providing oxygen, purifying the air and water, and hosting biodiversity crucial for our ecosystem. As we gather on this auspicious occasion, we are reminded of the vital role that forests play in supporting life on Earth and the urgent need for innovative solutions to protect the sustainability and sustainably manage our forests. The establishment of FOSA marks a significant milestone in our community as Department of Forest Science students and to our environment as well. As members of this association, we pledge to be at the front foot of change, advocating for the preservation of forests and promoting innovative approaches to forestry management. Today, as we embark on this journey, let us remember that each one of us has a role to play in ensuring the health and vitality of our forest. Let us embrace innovation, creativity, and collaboration to find new solutions for a better world where forests thrive and communities flourish. I am honored to serve as the president of FORSA with my fellow executives and lead this dedicated group of individuals who share a passion for forests and the environment. Together, let us make a difference and leave a legacy of sustainability for future generations. Thank you, and let us celebrate the International Day of Forests with a renewed commitment to protect, preserve, and innovate for the future of our forests and our planet. Long live our forests, long live FORSA. Thank you very much.
Wow, a beautiful message. A round of applause, please. A round of applause to the president and his able executives. Please, you can do it better. Wow. That's a very inspiring message. We'd like to quickly move on and take our first fraternal message from Mr. Augustine Jedu, who is the regional manager of FSD Sunyani. Mr. Augustine Jedu, regional manager of FSD Sunyani. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you can do it better. You can do it better.
Thank you very much. Province, Professor Bugri, invited guest, Dr. Kutu, and student present, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you greetings from the Chief Executive of the Forestry Commission and the Executive Director of the Forest Service Division. As Mr. Aban explained, in the Forestry Commission, we have 3 divisions, and I stand for the Forest Service Division, who manages the forest estate. As you inaugurate your association today, and we celebrate the International Day of the Forest, as the speaker rightly said, the theme is forest and innovation. How do we bring innovative ways into our forest management so that we can sustainably manage our forest? This morning, I was with Dr. Kuto in one of the FM stations, and it came out prominently that forest management is gradually becoming very difficult. Unlike in the olden days when it was very simple. I remember when I was a technical officer in the Western region then, I could single-handedly go to the forest, effect arrest, and I asked the suspect to sit at the back of my motorbike, and I would take him to the police. He will comply. Today, things have changed drastically. With the police and our trained personnel, with the soldiers, it's still becoming very difficult for us. So forest management is gradually becoming very challenging. In that wise, there is therefore the need to adopt some innovative ways to enable us to manage our forest sustainably. This morning we're talking about some of the innovative ways, like deploying drones into our forests to detect what is happening over there for us while we sit in our offices to manage our forest. After the morning show, I also had a meeting with my staff, and we demonstrated to them one of the new technologies using Google Earth to monitor our forest. This morning, I introduced to my staff, and we have been able to visit a lot of forest reserves in Ghana. We have gone as far as Atua Range to see what was happening there. We went to Paumbrekum, and we could see that somebody was farming there that we have not detected. We just did it this morning. So with these innovative technologies, it will help us to manage our forests very well. I'm therefore encouraging you students to come out with innovative ways. We also employ a lot of you. If you come to my office in Sunyani here, at least about 12 graduates from UNE. And across the country, we have a lot of you. So, Forestry Commission is definitely FSD will be source of your engagement. So please, study new technologies, innovative ways, so that when you are recruited, you can bring them on board to enable us manage our forest sustainably. I'm also appealing to the university. You know, our trees take a very long period of time to mature. And the exotic ones that grows very fast, like the teak, the melanus, the sideres, they take not less than 20 years, 20 to 25 years to mature. After the dooms, the mahoganies, and the flamos and the rest, 50 and above. And you will tell young people to go and grow, or elder people to go and grow these trees, they feel very reluctant to engage into tree planting. Therefore, there's the need for us to come out with innovative ways, to come out with fast-growing species, so that appeal goes to the university, that you intensify your research, so that we can come out with fast-growing species, innovative ways, so that people will be easily involved themselves in tree planting. Recently, we had our minister and the chief executive inaugurated a tissue culture center at Nkawie. And you know, tissue culture is one of the technologies, innovative ways that we can grow species. We can get a lot of them. Now, even the getting their seeds becomes very difficult for us. But with tissue culture, you can cut a branch of it and come out with thousands of trees so that we can plant them in our forests. With the spiritual continuation technology also, because we cut the parts from matured parts, when we culture them from the laboratory, we take them to the field, they behave as if they are matured. So in no time, they are mature and we start harvesting them. The one that was inaugurated, from the report we gathered, that the tick that they culture them to the laboratory, 6 to 10 years they are matured. The one that we pick from the field and nest in our nurseries, they take no less than 20 years. So if the university can come out with an innovative way of imparting this technology into our staff, so that when they come out, or even the university can set up I don't know whether you have it. What do you have? You are yet to have. Very soon. Yes, that will be very good, because I remember the university I attended. That was in the 1996. We had our own tissue culture laboratory at the university. And we were taken through the tissue culture technologies and the rest. We came back to Ghana, and it's difficult for us to get them. So please, if we can establish something of the sort here, and Bono region is championing a lot of plantation activities in the region, and with this serving as a source of planting materials, it will go a long way to help us to manage our forests. On that note, I wish you well, and may God bless you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Augustine Jedu. Please, you can do it better for him. So, we'll be receiving our second fraternal message from Mr. Alex Nani, who is the regional manager for district manager, for FSD Sunyani. But unfortunately, he's not around, so he's been represented. Oh, sorry, sir. Mr. Francis Brobe. So he's been represented by Ms. Sophia Anoba Sape, who is the Assistant District Manager for FSD Sunyani. Thank you.
Hello. In the Akan society, we say Abrewa Dwaria, Nanka, Asanyanasa. How can my regional boss be here? He has finished, and I'm also here. So, please, regional manager, professors, doctors, and then students, please allow me. I am Bamboo. The Chinese call me Tuti. I give food. I give beer, bamboo beer. I give fiber, that is cotton for cloths. I give toothpaste. I give bamboo vinegar. I give bamboo mushroom. If we are talking about forest and innovation, please do not forget about NTFP. Bamboo is an NTFP. Chinese started using bamboo 500 BC. You can find bamboo materials in plains. When it comes to roofing, Chinese use bamboo. When it comes to floor, Chinese use bamboo. They use bamboo in all their lives. Their spoons are bamboo. Their bowls are bamboo. Everything in Asia, China, is bamboo. Why don't we revisit bamboo? Arbor Day or the Forest Day, I went to the field with my district boss, and then we've started a central nursery under the FIP project at Nswatre. We've organized the community members to partake in seedlings raising for the incoming FIP activity and then other plantation interventions. So please, as students, if we are talking about forest and innovation, a new solution for a better world, I promise we can also incorporate bamboo. That is my message. But before I retire, in 1987, I was trained on this soil as a learner forest technical officer. My regional boss and assistant regional manager were all mates. In 1990, I graduated. I was among the 65 graduates. 65, 5 of us were females. But now I'm the only surviving female among the group. 1 has passed, 2 on retirement, and then 1 also had her way out. Please, ladies, let's have passion for work. I have passion for my profession. When I'm passing to my house and I look at UNE campus, I look at the buildings. In 1987, whilst I was here, everything was green. Please, let's clap to the gentleman who gave us the poem. He mentioned something that was very heartwarming. He said black man, and he said the green environment as well. But do you know what consoles me? What consoles me when I'm moving to my house? When I don't see the trees, I see the buildings, and I see youths who are also learning to improve on the environment. If you are a woman, you can do better, and you can do it. The women in forestry, we shall support you in all your dealings. When it comes to academic work, you can follow us for our experience, and we are there for you. Thank you very much, and thank you. Greetings from my district manager, Mr. Brobe, and his management staff.
If you're a woman, you can do it, and you can do it better. Thank you very much, Ms. Sophia. So, Mr. Felix Nani, Regional Manager for Wildlife Division Sunyani, is being represented by Ms. Josephine Fafali Bani. Please let's appreciate her while she comes.
Thank you very much. As she rightly mentioned my name, I'm Jocelyn Fafali Banini. So I'm representing my regional manager, Mr. Felix Nani, who is currently on an assignment. And I'm from the Wildlife Division. So I'm so grateful for the opportunity given to give a speech on this wonderful day, dubbed the International Forest Day Program and Forces Launching Ceremony. The theme for the program, Forest and Innovation, New Solution for a Better World, coincides with the theme for this year's World Wildlife Day celebration, Connecting People and Planet, Exploring Digital Innovation in Wildlife Conservation. The world is currently being driven by technological innovation, and any human endeavor which is not moving in tandem with innovations is already dead or with little chance of survival. Permit me to mention some two relevant sustainable management procedures that would be used in the forest and wildlife area. So one, we have the Global Positioning System, also known as the GPS. It's commonly known by each and every one of us. And what is basically used is for tracking and finding the location of forest and wildlife species. And then we have the drones also. It's also used for research and then the data collection. And then in our division, like wildlife, when you go to Mole, for instance, because it's a deep forest or it's a thick forest, you can't just go there and use cameras to take pictures of lions and other animals. So what we do is we use camera traps in taking pictures, and then we identify the type of animals that the camera trap takes. So we have wildcats also in the forest. And then finally, we have the SMART system. I believe we all understand SMART. S-M-A-R-T. S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for realistic, and then T for time bound. With this system, it's transferring conservation, where the manager sits in his office and is able to have a 360 view of the forest or park and comes up with management prescriptions for a better management conservation of the biodiversity. So in conclusion, I would like to use this opportunity to encourage each and every one of us gathered here to visit our parks, our forests, to experience nature in its full natural state, and as well come up with technological innovations to conserve and manage our resources and biodiversity. Thank you. Long live FOSA.
Thank you very much. We can do it better. We can do it better unto well. You know, I think that the University of Energy and Natural Resources is playing a very major role to make sure that UNE is green. See, if for nothing, we can't let our bats go away. No. We'll stay here with them. And because we want them here, we'll keep our trees. And we'll plant more trees for them to have places to stay with us. Because you have hostels. Where should the bats go? They have to stay here with us at least once in a while. If they, excuse me to say, if they shit on your dress, it is normal. They are part of the ecosystem and they are helping create that beautiful balance. Do your part by planting more trees and making sure that illegal mining or illegal tree planting or cutting is done in a very precautious way. All too soon, we are coming to the end of today's inauguration of, or the ceremony of Forestry Students Association, and also to celebrate the International Day of Forest. We have learned a lot today. We have seen how technology and innovation is becoming a very key factor, a very key role player in making sure that we have a very nice system created by the Forest Division. To take our closing remarks, It's going to be done also by the Dean of School of Natural Resources in the person of Professor Bechi Asiedu to give us the closing remarks. We would welcome him with a clap, please. Professor Bechi Asiedu to give us our closing remarks.
So my Pro-VC says I should do it. In actual fact, he should do it. Once he's here, how can you do a dean close an occasion whilst the Pro-VC is around? So Pro-VC, thank you for this opportunity. So the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Dean of Students, Head of Department Forest Science, colleagues, faculty members, our partners from FC. I'm a fisheries person. So anytime they say FC, I say, which of the FCs? Is it Fisheries Commission or Forestry Commission? It depends on where the conversation will be heading. Then I'll say, okay, you forestry. Otherwise, I'll turn you into a fish. It doesn't matter. So I think all of you bear with me that the program has been interesting and educative. We heard about the genesis of FORSA, the International Day of the Forests. We heard from the presentation by the TIDD area manager. The Pro-VC also, gave us a message on behalf of the Vice Chancellor and then the university. From our partners, yes, especially my big sister here, encouraging the women. Naturally, in my style, is that I want to get more ladies into natural resources. Yes, because when it comes to management of natural resources, they are good. I usually say that when you go to the field, fisheries, these fishermen are so stubborn, using dynamite, kaiba, do this, the regulation says this and that and that. But I'll be telling my ladies, you see, ladies, when you go and say, oh, Manjole, easy, please, this one, stop, don't do this, don't use these chemicals, they will listen. So please, the ladies, I think it's a strategy. So colleagues, let's get more in ladies. Maybe natural resources, only 2 guys, the rest ladies. And then, so that, no, it's a strategy so that we can conserve the resources. And as you know, and my sister also urged the students, please, FORSA, within the next 3 months and so forth, the school we want to see you, action. Get the stakeholders in here. This year is an election year, for instance. You can just, have, political or forestry series program or lectures. Bring them. They should come and tell us what they intend to do. We don't want to hear that they want to sell part of Achimota Forest and blah, 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 blah. So that we take them on. So it has been good. It has been very, very educative. We all have to help so that we can conserve our forests. We can manage these resources. I've been saying that all of us want to go to heaven. Okay. But the only thing, that may prevent us is that if you ever ask God, I ask you, how did you take care of the nature? If you failed, then I say go to hell. And then you can go to hell. So FORSA, once again, congratulations. Please support your president, your executives. We are planning. You are part of NASA. So what we intend to do is to have a school, Students School of Natural Resources, Students Association. There's a committee, we call it NASA or whatever. And then once we get the dues, we can give it to the other associations so that we don't burden you with a lot of financial issues. So let's be the ambassadors of forests. They say today is International Forest Day. As we are going out, let's forest to the evening. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You can do it better for Professor Bechi Asiedu. So to all FORSA executives and all members of FORSA, Prof is saying that actus non verba. More action, less talk. And please, those of you who are tired, you can go home so that the rest of us will take the item 13. We'll bring them to you later. And you know, Prof also mentioned that we should allow more women should get involved, you know, and women are more convincing. I think it's very true because, you know, Eve was very convincing enough that Adam ate the apple. Because I know that when she told Adam, Adam was like, no. Then, you see, Prof said, oh, it's Simon Jolene, no. Your man ate the apple. And now we are here. But we are here to make things better and go back to a better place. And because of that, we would like to call on Christiana Inchua to give us the vote of thanks. She's not around? Okay. So there's something else to be done. Okay. Oh, okay, good. So I want to do special acknowledgements to some wonderful people who helped us to make this program a success. We have Mr. Dr. Isum Alex. We also have the regional office, which is regional office of FSD Techiman. We have regional office FSD Sunyani. We have the area manager, Mr. Aban of TIDD. We have TIDD too, sorry. We have district forestry division of Sunyani. Wildlife Regional, Dean of School of Natural Resources, Professor Bechi Asiedu, Dean of Students, Professor Simon Abugri. We have the Pro VC in the person of Professor John K. M. Kuwonu. We also have Miss Martha. We have Professor Mrs. Dechi. We have Dr. Sichofe. We have Mrs. Opuni Frempong. We have Dr. Asigbasi and Professor Abugri. I've already mentioned that. We want to say a very big thank you for making this program a success. Your presence has really given us an opportunity to experience and learn from you. And as members of FORSA and as members of the School of Natural Resources, we are ready to support this vision and make this association a better one. I think now we can move on to the vote of thanks. Okay, so I think we have a speech from Ghana Enterprise Agency. Please, 5 minutes. Ghana Enterprise Agency. Can we do it for them as they come, please?
Good afternoon, everybody. Since my time is very short, I'll stand on all existing protocols. My name is Poku Daku Emmanuel. I work with the Ghana Enterprises Agency, formerly MBSSI. So I'm a district head, but I came with my regional manager, but he has given me the opportunity to do a little sensitization. So this year, we are having a project with MasterCard Foundation, and it's just to equip young ones to enter into learning a trade. So it can be a hand trade, that's hairdressing, tailoring, tiling, every hand trade, and it can also be in agriculture sector. So I'm just speaking to us about the agriculture sector so that we that are here and interested in it can just go on our phones. It's an online registration and just register and take part. So the agriculture says that this component provides participants with competency-based training with farm institutes, agri-colleges, mindset shift and entrepreneurial skills training, and also after your training, you provided with startup kits. So every part of the agriculture sector is involved here, from poultry to fishery to every other part. And when we talk about something like poultry, the whole value chain is involved. If you just want to engage in rearing animals or doing the livestock, it's involved. If you want to go into processing them or the sale of the packaged ones, is also involved. So every part of the agricultural value chain is involved here. So I'm just putting out the link. You can write it down or you can type it on your phone. When you go home, you can just go onto the website and read a little about it and apply as to which part you would like to take part. So it's GEA.gov.gh/bizbox. So bizbox is BIZBOX. I take it again. GEA.gov.gh/bizbox. Bizbox, BOZBOX. So if you visit the portal, you will see that we are dealing with 3 components this year. The agriculture is called AA to E, which is agric and agribusiness to entrepreneurship. We are doing A to E, which is apprenticeship to entrepreneurship. And we are doing MBA, which is MSME business acceleration. But the MBA is just for female-owned businesses alone. Female-owned. So for example, there's somebody who is engaged in maybe the manufacture of flour. But apart from manufacturing the flour, she has no certificates. She has no documentation. She has no access to market. She's not going to the FDA. This project is saying that we will do all that part for you so that you can go to the market and sell. But I'm interested in the agriculture part since I'm meeting with students from Natural Resources and Foresight. Thank you very much. By the way, I'm an old student of UNE. I completed very long ago. I can't really mention my year, but I'm very grateful to be here once again and to see this edifice and the campus growing very strong. I'm grateful to be here once again. So if you have a question, I'll just take 2 or 3 of them and then I'll just walk out of the stage. Yes? If there's no question, our regional office is opposite Isbeth Hotel. We are in the same building with the immigration people, Ghana Enterprise Agency. Our Sunyani East office is at the Sunyani East Municipal Assembly, around the High Court. Our Sunyani West office is at Odomasi, at the Assembly, Sunyani West Municipal Assembly. So if there are any other further questions, you can visit our offices or go onto our Facebook pages and then we can interact. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of these amazing people and also contributors and collaborators for today's program. We usually call them sponsors too. The person of Nana Sewatego from TIDDFC. She's an accountant. We have Daniel Dankwa, TIDDFC Inspector. Asari Vincent, TIDDFC NSP and National Service Personnel. Ishmael Ajay Yeji, NSP. Abba Kofi Bonsu, TIDDFC. We have Augustine Jedu, FSD, Regional Manager, and Stephen, Mr. Forgive me, D. Stephen, FSD, Assistant Regional Manager. And we also want to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Ejay Poku from Livelihood and Environment Ghana, an environmental and human rights NGO. Please, a round of applause to them. Okay. So please, if you're an MPhil student here, can you please stand up for me? MPhil student. If you're an MPhil student, can you please stand up for me? Okay, so a very special acknowledgement to all MPhil students and level 100 MPhil PhD level 100 and 200. Please give yourselves a round of applause if you are here. Beautiful. So when we take the vote of thanks, we are going to take a group picture. The first set is the dignitaries. The next one, dignitaries with, outside, right? So we are going to take the pictures outside. We have the pictures with the dignitaries. Then we have dignitaries with FOSA executives. Then we have dignitaries, FOSA executives, and all the whole students' body, right? That is the order, please. Dignitaries first, dignitaries with FOSA executives. Then we all go with them and we take the picture. Vote of thanks by Christiana Inchua. After that, we are going to plant 7 trees, right? 7 seeds. We have one to be planted by the Pro VC, acting Pro VC, then the Dean of School of Natural Resources, and we have the Dean of Students, and also the main speaker too, and the regional managers, please. So we'll do that in that order. Votes of thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Chairman, esteemed guests, and fellow forestry enthusiasts, on behalf of the Forestry Students Association, I would first of all like to give thanks to the Almighty God for making this program successful, and also a very big thank you to Professor Elvis Asaribediakon, Professor Simon Abugri, Dr. Daniel Akoto Safo, Mr. Aban Kofi Bonsu, Professor Beche Asiedu, Professor Mrs. Deche, Mr. Augustine Jedu, and of course all other dignitaries present today. The media present, may God bless you too for your hard work. Students present, we also appreciate your presence here today and your participation in this program. May God bless us all. Forza. Forza again. Thank you.
Guys, a round of applause. I know you are thinking about item 13, so you can't even remember that Forza, we say our forest, our future. Forza. Hey, Kwame KBA. Now, dear Kwame, when you bring Forza. Thank you very much. We'll take our closing prayer from Mr. Saki Emmanuel, if he's here. Mr. Saki Emmanuel, our closing prayer. Then we go out to take the pictures. Then we go and plant 7 seeds. Mr. Saki Emmanuel, a round of applause, please.
Thank you. Please, shall we rise on our feet for our closing prayer? Father, we are grateful for a successful meeting, for a successful gathering. We thank you for giving us this opportunity to witness this great occasion. As we are leaving, may you go with us in the pillar of clouds and the pillar of fire. Protect us wherever we came from. Send us back safely. We bless you, O God. In Jesus' name, have we prayed with thanksgiving. Amen.
Please, let us not